What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. We are doing something special today,
Yeah.
right? You want to tell them?
Sure. We are here to tell you all about Open House Chicago weekend
Yeah.
that's coming up the 14th and the 15th. And I can't wait for you to learn all about the origins and the
Yeah.
things you should see.
Yeah, this is a big weekend. This is our
It
third year working with the Chicago Architect Center to do this.
It's a really dope weekend. We
Yeah.
absolutely love it.
Yes.
We are out being little busybodies during that weekend.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So let's go in. We got somebody from Chicago Architect Center that's going to tell us some details, get us ready for the weekend,
Yep.
give us some history. So let's go inside, take a look.
Let's do it.
All right, well, I'm Angela Esposito. I'm the Senior Director of Learning and Community Engagement at the Chicago Architecture Center, which is really just a very long and fancy way of saying that I lead the youth and adult programs teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's so fancy. That
Yeah,
still
so
sounds like a
fancy.
lot.
Yeah, right. It sounds better than what you just
Yeah,
said.
okay, great.
Yeah. How long you been doing that?
I have been with the organization coming up on 8 years, but involved with, our Open House Chicago program and specifically our K-12 learning programs the entire time I've been here.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. So we'll get into OHC, but give us a little background on on Chicago Architect Center. We've done a lot of work with them over the last 3 years, so it kind of almost our full existence.
I feel like I don't even know the history
I know,
of the
right, yeah,
center.
right.
I don't.
Yeah.
Well, are you ready?
Yeah.
I'm ready.
How much time do we have? So we're formally known as the Chicago Architecture Foundation, is how most people have known us, because that's who we've been for over 50 years.
Yeah.
We moved to this location at 111 East Wacker in 2018 and opened up the center when we changed our name to the CAC, to the Chicago Architecture Center. And now we have kind of like a home base, a brick and mortar place to start your exploration of architecture. And if anybody knows anything about the city of Chicago, our skyline is
Yes.
one of the things they know the most, right?
The best.
And I mean, we're biased.
Yeah, right. It's a
but
fact.
yeah.
It's a fact.
But interestingly enough, we're kind of a unique cultural institution because you go outside to see our collection and you get to touch the artwork.
Yeah.
Like you get to right up close to our
I
collection.
didn't even think about that.
Yeah, which is kind of fun,
Yeah,
right?
that
It's
is
kind of
very fun. Yeah.
But we were founded in the 1960s to actually save Glessner House, which is on the near south side
Yeah.
of Chicago, about 18th and Prairie, 18th
Prairie, yeah, right
in
over there.
Indiana. Yeah.
Check the episode.
Yeah. And from there, just sort of evolved into tours. And when I tell people what I do or where I work, the number one thing they ask me: do you lead the river cruise? Do you do the
Yeah.
river cruise?
That's what we asked.
Yeah,
One of the first
yeah. I do not. I do not. We have wonderful docents who do that, but that is what we're most known for: is our our docent-led walking tours and our river cruise with Chicago's First Lady.
Okay. Awesome.
That tour is so fun. We did it a couple years ago. My mom was in from out of town, and we just went on there. And it's an hour and a half, but it literally goes by, and it feels like it's been 20 minutes.
Yeah.
I cannot imagine someone standing up there. They spoke for an hour and a half, and it went. I was like,
I said,
so
and I'll stand on it. I think that's one of the best tours
It
in
is.
Chicago.
Yeah.
If you are a tourist, you got to come see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if you're not a tourist, I
Right,
feel
right,
like
yeah, that's
because
the
you don't know.
thing.
I didn't know that if balconies have little wires, that means the building was used for something else
converted,
before.
yep.
Yeah, I was like, that is. And now I look for it everywhere
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Like, it was really cool.
Well, it's so interesting, to think about. Like I said before, like I'm kind of biased that we're the best, river cruise. But there is space on the river for
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
But our docents, I mean, when you think about it, like those are approximately their training that they go through, equivalent to a college
Yeah.
400 course.
Yeah.
And they're doing it backwards. So your left is their right,
Right,
and
right.
it has to be timed with the boat. And it's
Right.
just
Yeah.
like, and you could take that river cruise every week, all summer long, and get a different experience
Yeah.
every time, because it depends on what the docent wants to talk
Right.
about
Right.
or what
Right.
they're interested in or
Yeah.
what's happening.
Oh, that's interesting.
And it's just fast. I mean, again, I've taken that cruise. I can't tell you how many times. And
Yeah.
It's
It never gets old.
No.
Yeah, and like the people that lead the cruises are so dope.
Really cool.
I don't know if you remember our theater episode when we talked about Balvin and Cats, and we interviewed one of your docents,
Okay.
and she also leads the theater tours in the city.
Robin.
And Robin.
Yeah.
And the knowledge that she has, like she came with a booklet of information. I was like, you gathered this? She's like, over years, yes.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
she was talking about the training process to become a docent, and she was like, it's intense. Like,
It is.
It's not just anyone can do it.
It's no joke. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those are volunteers.
Yeah, right.
Those are
right.
volunteers
Yeah, putting
committing
in
that
that
amount of time.
Yeah.
I call them paychecks of the heart. Like
Yeah.
they are,
Paychecks of the
they
heart.
are really, invested
real.
in.
I think we need probably more paychecks of the heart, because Chicago has a rep that people don't understand,
Yes.
and we know that it's not what the media and news and like everywhere else
For
will say.
sure.
But
Right.
if we had more of that, to kind of tell
Yes.
the story.
Yeah.
Sense of civic pride. I think there are
Yes,
so many
yes.
things that Chicago does really well to instill that sort of civic pride. I think our tours is one. I think the Chicago Marathon
Right.
is
Yes.
another.
Yeah, just had that, yeah.
And of course, our festival that we're going to be talking about today. I think those are
Yeah.
all great kind of case studies in why our city
Yeah.
is,
Yeah.
this living, breathing
Yeah.
cultural mecca.
Yeah.
I love that. I think of open house as like the bow at the end of the year, but like leading up to that, what are some things that people can like do throughout the summer or even from January through May that
Yeah.
involve the Architecture Center?
Yeah, that's a great question. We're in communities a lot. We understand that, architecture doesn't just happen in the Loop.
Right,
It's
right.
in our neighborhoods
Yeah,
as well.
yes.
And so we do a lot out in partnership with grassroots organizations and folks doing really interesting arts, history, science-based work. We have stuff for, our K-12 audience. In February, we do our annual Engineering Fest, which is the second largest festival outside of Open House Chicago that we do.
Oh, wow.
And we bring in groups of engineers and STEM professionals to work with young people because architecture can't stand if there's not great engineering behind
Yes,
the facade, our summer camps in the summertime, our walking tours and boat tours, our lectures that we lead both online and in person, talking about things that matter
Yeah.
in the city and things that, again, I say are architecture. We talk a lot about the built environment and how decisions are made and how money gets appropriated, what is the work of an alderman and what is
Wow,
their
that's-
job in the neighborhood, because that all ties into a livable
Yeah.
city.
Yeah.
That's architecture.
Yes. And that's K through 12?
K through 12 and our adult programs
Okay,
as
I
well.
was about to say, open that up to
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of adults that need
Yes.
that.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, because that's that civic pride you're talking about.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
In January, actually, one of our end of January, early February, we're bringing this back for the second time this year, the Architecture and Design Film Festival. So think of like Cannes.
Yeah.
Okay, you were there last year? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was
Like
so
Cannes
cool.
for people who like design. And it's
Yeah.
really for anybody who's like, I kind of think architecture or design is cool,
Yeah.
all the way to I am an architect,
Right.
you know?
Right.
Yeah.
And then there's panels and lectures and,
Yeah.
one-off things that happen around the same time too.
We watched a film about sustainable fashion.
Yes.
It was
That was-
so.
The mother of pearl one?
Yes.
It like
Yes.
blew my mind.
Yes.
There was so much stuff that I did not know.
The mushrooms, I was like,
Mushroom leather
Yeah.
and yeah.
my mind was blown.
So cool.
Yeah, that was.
Like the difficulty of sourcing fabric that you know the origin. It's like either single
Trace
origin
it way
or
back.
Like trace
Yeah.
it all the way back.
Yes.
I was like, it cannot be that hard. Like,
Right.
what do you mean? Yeah, it was.
You know,
it was
and I
so
like that
good.
kind of stuff. I like
Right,
that, like that
same.
kind of like ancient, like history, but not ancient, but
Yeah.
like stuff that is like so abstract. And you didn't. How was it made? That old TV show that was fantastic.
right.
Yes.
You know? So to see that like from a mushroom, I'm like, and then that particular mother of pearl.
Yeah,
what,
that was
what,
so
what they went through just to get that off the ground and get that
Yeah, it was
incredible.
Yes, at some point in the film, you just become exhausted
Yeah.
for her,
Right.
Yeah.
and frustrated for her.
You had to go to Peru. You had to go to all this. Like, man, just give her the love. Yeah, give her the.
Yeah.
she was looking for alpaca or something. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yep.
like, man, just give it to her.
Yes, yeah. But those are important conversations, and that actually isn't. It's an architecture conversation because when the built environment and the natural environment collide, our buildings have had to change in a. Again, I say post-COVID. I do use the air
Yeah, yeah,
quotes,
yeah.
of like healthy buildings and hybrid working and. How do we help the planet? And
Right.
even as something as simple as special kind of glass on the windows so that birds
Right.
don't fly
Right.
into it, and it's
Oh,
in
yeah.
migratory patterns. Like
I just heard about that.
Yeah.
yeah, there's just so much that people don't always think about as architecture, and we talk about all those topics
Right.
here. We're more than the river cruise, even
Yeah.
though that is the thing that
Yeah.
we're most known for.
So let's talk about open house.
Yeah,
So
perfect
it
segue,
is
yes.
this coming weekend. I believe it's like the entire month of October you can explore, but the big weekend is coming up.
Yes.
This
14,
Fri-
15.
Yeah, 14, 15.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about how open house started and yeah.
Yes, well, we're in our 13th year. We're the lucky 13. We're now
Yeah.
teenagers.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Got some attitude.
We got a little bit of attitude. We think we're a real big deal now.
You are.
Yeah.
But no, you're right. We're opening up our doors. If you've ever, whether you are local, we also get a lot of folks from, suburban and collar counties, Michigan, Iowa, Wisconsin, also international
Yeah.
people
Yes,
come
yes.
in. They plan, trips to Chicago around Open House Chicago. If you've ever walked through your neighborhood or through the Loop and you've pointed at a building and you're like, I wonder what that building is,
Yeah.
or I wonder what goes on inside there, but it's never been a situation that's
Yeah.
appropriate for you just to walk into the Board of
Yeah.
Trade
Go up in
building,
here, yeah.
right?
Yeah.
This is the weekend for that.
Yeah.
So we have partnered with about 170 locations. We throw the doors open for the weekend, and it really is the city's free architecture festival to explore, what's going on in your
Right.
neighborhood, what's going on in another neighborhood, or what's going on here in the Loop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that is incredibly important because we've learned over the last 2.5 years doing this podcast, there's some people that are adults well into 40s and beyond that have never been inside the Sears Tower,
Sure.
the former Hancock building. I say Sears Tower, Willis Tower.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we get it. Yeah. But there's people that haven't seen this.
Yeah.
And so,
Yep.
we've been working with this OHC for the last 3 years, and it's like one of the best things in the city. Go see it. Go see
Yes.
the stuff.
It's also other things that you might not think of. Like you're walking down your neighborhood and there's a church you probably don't think is, it's
much
just
of
a church.
anything.
It's been there forever and
Right.
you didn't think of its relevance. During that weekend, you learn about
You can walk up and
historical
have it easy.
importance. Right. Yeah, that was my whole point. It's like you learn about new buildings that you never thought were relevant during that weekend. We did sites in the neighborhoods and
Yeah.
then we did some in the Loop, and all of it was mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
My hope, and I think the team, the way that they've structured this year's OHC, which maybe has been slightly different than past years, is twofold. Number one, we really want to encourage you to go to a neighborhood you've never been to before
right.
and explore a part of the city that maybe you have either thought was not for you
Right.
or you've just never thought about exploring before. So that's kind of action item number one when you plan an itinerary. Number two, in order to do that, we've intentionally clustered sites together, so you can take CTA, you can take ride share or park your car and then walk to get to the different sites within the specific neighborhood,
Yes.
so that you're not spending all of your
Right.
weekend
Right. Driving
shuffling
around
about.
and trying to figure it out.
Right,
Yeah.
paying for parking everywhere you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
So speaking of putting together an itinerary, let's talk about the app because
Yes.
I think that's the coolest thing.
Yeah, yeah.
You don't want to be printing out pages of. You can.
Yeah, right.
But there's an
Yeah.
app. So
Yeah.
tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Okay. So if anybody has ever done OHC before, especially if you did it last year, take what what you think you know about the app and throw it away,
Oh, wow,
because
that's it.
we basically did that with the app. We threw it away
Okay,
and
yeah.
started over. And our marketing team has done a phenomenal job with really working with an external media firm to design this state-of-the-art app where you can plan, your itinerary. It attaches to Google Maps so that you can plan your walking routes.
Love that.
There's also some kind of what I would call like residual things on there where if let me pick a neighborhood. If you're in Lawndale,
Yeah.
if you're in North Lawndale,
Yeah.
and you're going to, a church there, it'll recommend there's a coffee shop within walking distance here. You should check this out before you go. So it really is this sort of, holistic, all-encompassing weekend that you are exploring,
Yeah.
the 77 flavors of our city.
Hey, hey.
TM. So, you can set your own, like I said, you can set your own itinerary. We're going to be working with some celebrity guest artists to create their own itinerary,
Yeah.
kind of like, I always liken it to like when Barack Obama does his bracket
Yes,
every year
yes.
and releases
the music
it.
list, the book list.
Yeah.
Right,
I
right.
love that.
So we're going to be working with some local
Yeah.
folks so that you can see what do they find
Right,
interesting and
right.
exciting. You can share your itinerary with other people.
Yeah.
So I think it's just going to be it's kind of like having a docent in your pocket.
Yes.
Yes.
That's literally what it feels like.
Yeah.
And there's information about the sites in the app.
Yes.
Right? So you can, there's a little brief of
Yep.
what it is.
What it is.
And I love explore like a local, and that is probably my favorite thing. Not because we're doing it, but I really think it's cool because whenever I visit a city, I want to know what are the locals doing.
Yeah.
Right.
And I think it's even important in specific neighborhoods because like you might not be from that neighborhood or that community area, and you want to know where's the best place to eat, but you don't want to read 100 reviews. So
Sure.
explore like a local. You'll find Dario and I on there with our itinerary and our recommendations, and I just love that. And you know, we've been to our places, so this year I'm like, I want to see what other locals have
Yeah,
recommended,
fine.
and I want to go to their sites because it might just be something that's never crossed my mind
Yeah.
before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the app will even break down, like, you know, places that are more, you know, accessible for kids.
Right.
You know, are there restrooms on site?
Yeah.
Are the lines going to be super
Amazing.
long? Like, I'm a parent, I get it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
want to wait in a line
Right.
that wraps around the
Let's
block.
just get in and get out.
Right. You know,
And it's like categories, right? Like you can do like all the, you can see all the churches, you can see like all the, I keep
you can
saying
filter,
going,
Yeah.
of what you find important or what you
Yeah.
think is of note.
Yeah.
But I'm just really, the app has just elevated
Yeah.
the program. I'm
And
excited to see
Yeah.
it.
It's October 2nd today at the time of this recording. The app just came out.
Yeah.
So now you
So you can, so now it's Monday, the 9th that
Yeah.
you're saying this.
Yeah.
You can actually download the app and pre-plan
Yes.
your weekend before.
Get ready.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, this app is not just for this weekend.
Yeah.
This app is it going to? I know the month of October is open house for Chicago, but this lives on, right?
Yes.
This lives on beyond, right?
Yep. So once Open House Chicago wraps, the app will just automatically switch over and start sharing all of the amazing things that we just talked about at the top of this, of other ways to get involved. There'll be information about the Architecture and Design Film Festival. There'll be things for kids that pop up. So again, you know, don't just, well, OHC's over, I
Yeah.
can delete it
Stay
now.
connected.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
It's amazing.
Yep.
Any last thoughts or recommendations for people? What are
Yeah,
your
I was
like
just
top?
about to say, what are yours?
sites to see?
Yeah.
I know it's like asking who's your favorite child.
I know. Like we're never
Everyone
supposed to
has
have one,
one.
but
Yeah, everybody, you know.
everybody has one. You know, that's really hard. I won't share my sites, but because I need some a little bit more time to think
Yeah.
about it
Sure.
because actually a lot of sites that we have this year are different than in years past. So
Yeah.
we got some new players in the game. I will say that some of my favorite neighborhoods,
Okay.
Chinatown
Yes.
Yes.
is one,
Treasure trove.
Bronzeville is another.
God.
Hyde Park / Kenwood,
Yes.
great areas to see. I'm also excited to explore some of the. We're all 21 and older here, right?
Yeah,
like some of like the
yeah.
breweries and the
Right.
on the
Yeah.
north side, and you know, some of the more like social
Yes.
aspects
Yes.
of how we how we engage culturally and socially. So I think again, there's something for literally
Everybody.
something for everyone.
Yeah.
And even if you're someone like, I don't know if this is you, but sometimes this is me, where I just am kind of like on people, you know, like
Yeah.
sometimes you refill your cup alone.
Yeah.
We actually have trails on the apps that you can put in your ears, and you can do a bike trail, you can walk, and you can just like do it on your own too. So if crowds aren't your thing,
Yeah.
if you're concerned about health or whatever, and you want to do it on your own,
That is
so
Yeah.
cool.
We love that over in Europe.
Yeah.
Because you can do that a lot there, and we
Yep.
were wondering if there's something here in Chicago that is like that.
Yes.
That is perfect.
Yep.
That is perfect.
Yep.
Not that I want to be alone, but like sometimes you want to kind of go off the beaten path. You know
Yes.
what I mean? You want to create your own path. That's fantastic.
Yep. So there's bike trails, there's indigenous trails, there's all kinds of stuff on there. So
I-
download the app.
Yeah, I am excited. You know what I'm excited for people to see, based on what we've seen over, our journey. There's Ebenezer Missionary Baptist Church. That just learn the history. If people can go out there and kind of just like learn that, go to Brunswick. If you've never been to Brunswick,
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
walk anywhere.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like, and you will. There's so much to see.
There's signs everywhere. There's
Everywhere.
stuff on the ground. There's stuff
Yeah.
on the buildings,
Yep.
like little markers.
And
it's
not to be
full.
biased, but you know what I mean? Like, I think the South Side and West Side doesn't get a lot of reps. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, so to kind of see what's out there, you will learn an enormous amount of history.
Yeah.
From those parts of towns.
Yep.
Because the North Side is easy. We all know the North Side of downtown, but not saying you don't go there, but you can learn a lot.
Yeah.
Of
But it's
origins.
also like the reverse. A lot of people that live on the South and
Right,
West Side
right.
have never been
Go up
to the
north,
North Side
yeah.
or downtown.
Absolutely.
So like it's also important to feel like you belong in
Yes.
these spaces and come further up.
Yeah,
from,
please come
you
up
know,
because like there's some stuff here that's
Yes.
like it blew my mind that people have never been inside Willis Tower, Sears Tower.
Yeah.
Have you know what I mean? Like I don't
or
want
like
the
maybe
comments.
they haven't been to Navy Pier in like
yeah.
30 years.
Right.
Yeah. Like things
Like
have
it's
changed.
free. Just
Right.
like,
could just
why
go.
wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
there's a lot of dope food in there, like
Yes.
in these places. So
Yes.
yeah.
I hope that, by the time people are done with Open House Chicago weekend, that their takeaway is, whether you're local or you're not, that your mind has changed about your city. Because this is everybody's city,
Yeah.
right? We're a city of mainly immigrants.
Yeah.
Actually, all immigrants.
All,
Even
yeah.
our founder
Right.
was a Black
Yeah,
Haitian
yeah,
immigrant.
right.
Like that's who we are.
Yeah.
And I hope that folks walk away with the idea of like, wow, I didn't know. I learned something new. I have a new crease in my brain. I went to a neighborhood that I, wouldn't have thought of otherwise, or I saw a building, or at the very least, I appreciate the built environment
Right.
in a slightly different way than I did when I started.
Yeah.
That's the goal.
I love that.
That's the soundbite. Yeah, well, that's
Yep.
yeah. But thank you so much. We
Of course,
appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Awesome. All right, so we are in front of Zaza's. We just ate some really good pizza.
Yeah, look at me belching on camera again.
Just free shots for
yeah,
people. But if you didn't know about Zaza's, they opened in 2021, so right in the middle.
Right in the middle.
But they honestly started off really strong from the
They
beginning.
thriving.
Yeah, they're New York style.
Yeah.
With like a Chicago twist, I would
I
say.
kind of like that post up that you're doing
Yeah.
right now. Yeah, let's,
It's New York style pizza. The slices are pretty big,
Yeah.
I would say.
this is a lot of pizza. Look at this pizza. Go crazy. Yeah. Yeah.
Like 2 slices per person is probably
Yeah,
good,
that's probably enough.
Yeah. I
is
think
not.
in the beginning they used to do by the slice. I think it was only pies, but
I
now
think they did by the slice, right?
Did they? I don't
I
remember.
can't remember.
We came when they first opened, and we really loved it. So we thought we'd come back and feature them because we really like them a lot. We like the owners too. They're super nice.
Yeah.
And the mom is just the best.
Mom
She's
be
so
going
sweet.
hard.
Yeah.
Mom go hard for Zaza. I ain't mad.
I know.
I ain't mad.
I love it.
Ride for your team. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But yeah, they're super popular, and a lot of
this year.
yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They were at Pizza City Fest.
Both years? I don't know.
Both
Both
years?
Both years? 1 year at least.
Yeah, at least
First year
this
we was
year.
there for. We was
Yeah,
there with them.
they were
Yeah.
there this year too, I think. But yeah, I mean they were great. We got slices instead
so-
of getting full pie because we wanted
Yeah.
to try different
Yeah,
flavors.
we'll try things. And that's the actually good thing about
Yeah.
what they do is that they
Yeah.
have the option to get the whole pie, or you could do slices,
Yeah.
which I think is fantastic
Yeah.
for exactly what we
Super.
do. You know.
And the slices average about $5 a slice.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it's New York style.
Yeah.
So it's large.
it's large.
It's a large piece.
It's a thin, large pizza.
Yeah, and they.
So we had sausage,
Yes.
which was really, really good. My only thing is I wanted more sausage on
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's like sausage rounds instead of
What?
crumbled up sausage. So I just wanted more on there
Yeah.
because it was so good.
It was good, yeah.
Yeah.
I would probably agree, but like honestly, the sausage was fantastic.
Yeah,
I
it was
started
really
biting
good.
it, I was like, "Yo, pause."
It's like
I was like, "That was, this is very good."
Yeah, it's like a
Spicy?
spicy fennel
Yeah.
sauce. Like it was really good.
They
I
need
really
to sell the
liked it a lot.
sausage by itself.
I mean, they probably.
You
find
said it's a
someone
pizza
that makes
joint.
it, yeah.
Like, it's a pizza joint. Maybe. My bad. I was thinking about the cheese curds that we didn't even talk about.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
we can talk
we'll
about that
get-
after the
yeah, yeah,
pizza.
yeah,
We also had a bacon jam pizza.
Now we got some mixed emotions on this one. Now
Yeah, Dario loved it.
I loved it. I loved it, y'all.
Didn't think it was bacony enough,
Which is
but I loved the grilled red onions on there.
yeah.
I loved the like slight sweetness.
Yeah.
I thought it was great.
See,
But again, I wanted more.
yeah, I thought that it was very bacony and it had like a
Maybe
lot
it's
of
just, like, the difference in slice.
the slice that we
Yeah.
got. I mean, it tastes like just y'all. It tastes like a baked potato, like a loaded baked potato, but on a pizza.
Dario
What-
just associates flavors with things he knows. So
but that's what it
it's
was.
like
It was a. But I mean, I'm not all the way wrong. Like I'm definitely
Yeah,
not.
but baked potato
Yeah.
is wildly off. But
No, I didn't say it was a baked potato. Like the toppings, like it tasted. It had the symptoms of a baked potato. There it is. But it was good. Anyway.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Anyway. The
And
other
then
one we had,
we got the pepperoni,
the spicy,
the
the
spicy.
hot joint,
hot honey
hot honey.
with pepperoni and cheese. Adult
It was-
ricotta, I
Now
think, on
here's-
top. That one, I love that one.
Okay.
I really like. I like I like pizzas like that are like not necessarily the
Yeah.
more traditional or simple ingredients. I love a simple ingredient pizza that's like one or two things on it, but I also love when people get a little creative with their pizza.
Yeah,
That's just
it was decorative. I love it. I'll say that slice, for me, it was hot. It's supposed to be hot, so I was anticipating
it's hot
spicy.
honey.
Yeah, but like the honey was overpowering the hot. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't as hot as I like it to be. The sausage was hotter than the sausage was hotter than that one. So that was interesting. That was an interesting
Yeah,
take.
I was not expecting too spicy.
Yeah.
I know what hot honey tastes like.
Hey, look, man.
So I knew what I was going.
Oh, get out of here. Hey, look. Y'all about to see beef on the streets here.
I've tasted it. I've tasted things before.
Yeah, I'm sick of this. This is preposterous, y'all.
And then the last thing we got were the tater tots.
Cheese curds.
Cheese curds,
Look
I'm
at
sorry.
it. Look at it.
Was that the large or the small?
So I didn't classify. So that looked like the large.
It looked like the large.
You
It
get
was
two
a
options.
huge serving.
Yeah, you get two options:
Yeah.
half pound and full pound.
Yeah, that
And
felt like a pound.
That was definitely because we took some home. We got a whole
Yeah.
box right there.
Yeah, and very good.
Very good.
Very good.
You know what? I don't know. I think they need to lean into those cheese curds a little bit more.
Like how?
Like advertise and talk about them a little bit more.
It's a pizza shop.
And you know,
But yeah,
how
talk
you
about the
doing?
cheese
How you
curds.
doing?
The cheese curds were very good.
Yeah.
And the sauces that came with them were really, really good.
The garlic one
Oh,
surprised me
So good.
because you know I'm a marinara
I know.
type dude. So
I know.
so I'm
the marinara was really good, but
Fantastic, but that garlic
was
one?
amazing.
What if you mix garlic and marinara? Come on now.
You just get
Come on now.
garlicky
Church.
marinara.
Let's start church.
Let's
I think Zaza's is fantastic. Obviously,
yeah.
we know
love
this.
them.
Yeah.
So we like
Yeah.
it
It was
we're
good
not,
to like
yeah.
eat it in this kind of fashion. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We was hungry too. Like
The
we-
first two slices, I probably don't even know what they taste like.
I know.
If I try them again, I'll be like, I've had this?
Yeah. What's
Um,
crazy is like this episode we were downtown,
Yeah.
but in real life we were actually on the south side.
Right.
So we were in Bronzeville. So we've been traveling all day and we're hungry.
Yeah. But it was delicious. Definitely check them out. Honestly, it's a cool vibe. The place is like super nice.
Yeah.
It's very artsy.
They move fast too.
It was not a long wait.
He
it was
said 15. It wasn't 15.
it wasn't even
it was like
15
10
minutes. Yeah.
Maybe 10. Yeah.
And you know, you can also pre-order your pizza and just come pick it up if you don't
Yeah.
want to wait. But
Yeah. Yeah.
would definitely recommend.
Yeah. Sit in there for the vibe. I was like, if it's up, then it's up.
Okay.
And it's up,
Well,
and you know.
That is all. If you like this episode, send it to someone you like. Support us. The best way to support us is to share our content and comment and like and do all the things. If you did not like this episode, you can go ahead and f yourself for the second week in a row. Congratulations on
I was
this
ready
prize.
this time.
We don't need. Why are you here?
Man, come on. Let's get out. Hey, y'all. Be blessed.